Guten Tag, and welcome to De Mexico. My name is Sean O'Connor. While I sure wish that we were all gathering together in Cologne this week to meet up, to exchange ideas, and to learn from each other, I'm really excited to have the opportunity to share with you the Microsoft Advertising Masterclass focused on retail. Over the next 30 minutes, I'll share with you the trends and insights impacting our industry today. You'll hear directly from 5 of our clients to understand more about how they've experienced the last 6 months. And finally, we'll look ahead at what the remainder of 2020 may hold. Speaking of 2020, I've heard all kinds of ways to describe what we've experienced. Disruptive, challenging, unprecedented, crazy, encouraging. We've spent a lot of time at Microsoft analyzing consumer behavior. And if you're at all like me, you've probably spent a lot of time at home. We've adjusted. We've learned how to work from home. We've helped our kids navigate remote learning from home. And on the weekends, with more time on our hands, we've spent more time in the garden. We've spent more time finishing up those projects around the house that we've put off for years. This is an audience that digital advertisers have never quite seen before. And now many advertisers have struggled during these times. We've seen clients pause budgets. We've seen them re-strategize, come back to the drawing board, and then come back into the marketplace stronger than ever. We've seen other clients with unlimited budgets pouring money into paid search like never before, taking every qualified click that they can get. At Microsoft, we believe that search is an incredible driver of economic growth. It has the opportunity to pair consumers with brands. It has the opportunity to pair businesses with potential partners. And we believe that search is now more important than ever. So let's go ahead and dive into the trends together. As more and more people moved online, this means that for brands and advertisers, a whole load of new customers have opened up to them. According to eMarketer research shared in May, there are nearly 150 million more potential online buyers this year compared to last year. So the audience is just bigger. According to recent research from Forrester, nearly 50% of consumers have bought products that they have never bought before online. Understanding your audience and their intent is now fundamental to any marketing plan. Also in the Forrester research, they noted that 38% of the surveyed businesses have seen higher search referral volume in their online channels and higher online orders in their shops. And a full 34% of them have seen an increase in online orders. In April, eMarketer surveyed advertisers across UK, France, and Germany, and they asked them where they would reduce their budgets. When you look across search, display, TV, and out-of-home advertising, you'll see that at the time, search was predicted to be the least impacted media, and we've generally seen this play out over the past 6 months. We believe that this is a result of the inherent performance nature of search advertising, and also of it being seen as a relatively safe option in a challenging and uncertain time. And this is similar research. According to advertiser perceptions, budgets associated with search were initially the least negatively impacted medium, according to advertiser reactions in the very early days of lockdowns in March. It's important to note that this reaction in times of uncertainty, search was seen as the channel where companies were planning to continue to invest. And not surprisingly, paid search also benefited the most, either from retaining or receiving reallocated budgets, according to the same report from advertiser perceptions. These reactionary signals show the importance of paid search in an overall media budget. It is reliable, it performs, and with the proper focus on measurement and optimization, it can be the foundation of any marketing mix. At Microsoft, our data has shown a steady increase in search query volume throughout 2020. This is validating the external research pointing toward more people being online and more consumers searching for and buying items that they've never purchased before online. This is the year-over-year trend line for our top European markets, including Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, and the UK. From our data, we can see that as the pandemic kicked in and as lockdowns ensued around the world, the number of searches increased steadily and held throughout the summer months when we usually have seen a decline in the past. While a portion of the search volume was incremental and non-commercial queries related to either the virus or to news related to the virus, we did also see paid search click volume increase at a higher rate year on year, pushing to over 50% in April. We think this points toward higher click-through rates and certainly stronger connections between consumer intent and the offers that were provided through the marketplace through our clients' campaigns. While marketplace data is interesting, we think it gets really interesting when you dig deeper and deeper into the vertical trends. We see very mixed stories here. Tech and telecom led the way immediately post-lockdown as everyone upgraded their ability to work and to be entertained. We saw home and garden soaring throughout lockdown as people spent more time at home and wanted to improve their environments. And apparel has been picking up and gaining traction throughout the summer. With states and countries enforcing different levels of lockdown, restaurants, hotels have been closing and travel has been limited with both leisure and business. However, as you can see, it's beginning to pick up more recently. Retail, which is our focus today, has been strong throughout the past 6 months, seeing over 100% growth in click volume in April and sustaining this with high levels throughout the summer. And if we look at Germany data only, we see a very similar story to our European markets with maybe slightly lower volume throughout the summer months for retail. We know that paid search is a significant part of digital ad spend. According to eMarketer, paid search on average accounts for 2/5, 42% of average digital ad spend. But retailers rely on search more as a channel, accounting for almost half of all of their digital ad spend. With such a high dependency on paid search, now is the time for retailers to be investing more in the channel that brings strong returns. So our own research shows us that search just works more efficiently for retailers than it does for advertisers and other verticals. We see stronger conversion rate increases for search relative to other ad types across all verticals. And retail shows the most impressive lift in their conversion rates for search campaigns. So let's keep peeling back the onion here and take a closer look at the data over the past 6 months. If we stay in Germany, we'll look at the categories that benefited the most in the changes in consumer behavior. And we have to start with home and garden. With consumers at home more, with more time on their hands, we've seen them looking to invest in power washers and in bread makers and in new furniture at higher rates year on year. Home and garden spiked during the month of June, with click volume up 124% year on year. And as you'll see by the green line on this chart, even in late August, home and garden was still trending way above the retail average at 64% year over year. And similarly, without long commute times and with the desire to get fit, sports and fitness, while starting slowly, really picked up pace quickly during the summer months and was growing at 64% in June and maintaining pace in August. We saw bicycles sold out in many places, and others took on new forms of exercises with their gyms being closed. But not all categories of retail have fared so well. Computers and electronics and hobbies and leisure were the star categories of the early lockdown period as many adjusted work needs and invested in their home entertainment. But this slowed over the summer as the focus shifted outside. This category is picking up recently, but still trails the overall retail average. We'd expect that as the days get shorter and that as our time inside increases, that both of these categories climb back above the average. Now, some categories have come on stronger in recent months. Both apparel and also beauty and personal care have climbed above the retail average in the late summer months. We believe that this is driven by an optimism and also an adjustment to how we live in a world of social distancing and limited gatherings. And we also think that back-to-school seasonality had a factor in these changes. And finally, this is global data, much of the impression growth has been directed toward our shopping ad format. This engaging ad has seen a 67% increase in growth as of late August. Text ads are seeing a slight decline year over year in the retail category as more and more retailers are focused on their shopping ads and on optimization of this ad format. So those are a few of the trends and insights that are impacting the retail industry today. We'd like to shift gears now and move on to a masterclass panel. We've gathered 5 of our clients from across Europe, and we'd like to take some time now for you to hear from them directly, to understand how they've experienced the past 6 months and how they're optimistically looking forward at the remainder of 2020. You'll hear key themes around both agility and also growth. We have Thomas, the head of traffic from La Redoute. Now, La Redoute is a French retailer with 170 years of history, founded as a catalog business and modernized as a home and fashion retailer. We also have Sophie joining us. She is the general manager of Kied, who is La Redoute's trusted agency partner. Louis joins us from Emma Sleep, one of the leading direct-to-consumer mattress brands in the world, where he leads the digital marketing strategies for this brand. And Chris joins us from AO, a home and entertainment retailer in the UK, where he leads their digital marketing strategy. And finally, we have Mariana, the head of strategy and media communications from the leading Spanish retailer, El Corte Inglés. Let's go ahead and jump right in.
It was tricky times last month, I guess, for everybody, and the uncertainty was in the room. But I would say we're actually doing quite well right now. Actually, in June, I think it was, we sold the 1 million mattress. So this was a great stepping stone in our history. But just being so adaptive and being such an agile company, I think we made the best out of it.
We're in quite a buoyant position, fortunately. I think the way that a lot of customers have reacted to COVID and quite kept throughout really is that demand has been high online. A lot of people are buying online and choosing to buy online as opposed to going to stores. And despite stores opening again, we've not seen a huge seismic shift in kind of the online market. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen yourself, kind of searches have remained really, really strong. So for us at the moment, the state is quite positive. We're gearing up for what should be a really good peak period now.
I think the best way to describe the situation is uncertainty. You don't really know what's going to happen, and it's very hard to predict in terms of regulations, in terms of consumer behavior. I think it's very, very hard to predict what's going to happen and how's this year going to end.
The current business situation is very difficult to decode because we live a so unique period. I can say that until now, digital using and e-commerce are the big winners of this crisis.
La Redoute has been our clients for 10 years now, and we have a full dedicated pet search team of 4 people working with the Thomas team, plus our R&D department. And during the lockdown, as La Redoute and every single company did, we organized ourselves so quickly that it's quite unbelievable when you think about it.
In particular, we note from mid-April a very dynamic growth on home purchases. People seem to be refocused on their home sweet home in order to ensure a long period of telework with a desk, with office chairs, and to also to enhance their gardens, to decorate their interiors. We also note a great growth in client recruitment since May. It's quite surprising because until now, everybody said that French e-commerce was a mature market in which client loyalty is the key success factor. But this crisis shows us that e-commerce is still able to recruit even more new e-buyer, and of course, it's a very good news for La Redoute.
After some time of uncertainty and being in a little bit of a dip, we actually made it work. We saw that there was a shift from offline to online, actually, which benefited us.
One of the trends I think that will still be very strong this season is the fact that the holiday season is stretching out in time, and we've seen that a couple of years ago, or 3-4 years ago, our consumption for Christmas season was very concentrated in December. But
I think the key trends for us have really been kind of online behavior and the conversions behind that. So a lot of people are more in market, I guess you could say. Over the last 6 months, things like bread makers have just gone through the roof as everyone kind of is at home. They're really stress testing their appliances like they've never done before. There's been a lot of people sat on homes on laptops, cooking a lot more, and it's given people a lot of an opportunity to kind of do their house up or do their garden up or make some changes that they wouldn't normally have been able to. We've started to prepare really early for the holiday season this year. I think it's going to be massively different. I think because people have got accustomed to working from home and using the computers a lot more, people are a lot more tech savvy. They kind of know exactly what they want a lot earlier. So I think there's going to be demand that's going to come really, really early. So for us, we're planning, to go early, have a really successful year. And it's going to be different from last year for sure. There's going to be a different mix of products that people might be interested in this year. You've got the launch of the PS5 and the Xbox, which is going to be huge. There's a new iPhone being launched this year as well. So there's all sorts of products that are coming in.
But when it comes to Christmas, unfortunately, our mattress doesn't really fit under the tree, I guess. So Christmas is not really one event that we're planning towards. So this is rather low seasonality. And then right after Christmas, when the pockets are full, people get their monies from their relatives and their paychecks. Then they're thinking about, what can I do to increase my comfort, increase my quality of life, and sleep being one of the biggest topics, I guess, in terms of increasing the quality of life. But again, to sum it up, Black Friday and the Boxing Days and the bank holidays after Christmas are anticipated to be very good seasons for us.
Very important for us is to build an omni-channel strategy that will serve consumers both online and in physical stores. We think that families are going to be in different situations, and some families probably won't be able to get out of home, so they will have to buy online. Some other families will choose to buy online and pick up in store. Some other families will choose to go to the store, and we really need to be ready and to give those families and those consumers a seamless experience in any of the channels that we have available.
We need to monitor the capacity of Laredo to deliver, to properly monitor the supply delivery capacity, and so we increase media investment according to this, to the capacity of reopening of relay.
In complementary on media, we will also be more present of TV and on social networks to massively broadcast our brand messages in order to be on top of mind. Because be on top of mind is very crucial to stand out from competitors and help us to outperform competitors on paid search.
I think now we will have to shift our minds into a recovery mindset. And when I talk about recovery, I mean that we need to start building on new strategies to answer to the new reality or to the next reality. Things are not going to be normal again for, I think, at least a year. So we really need to start thinking what are going to be the winning strategies.
We need to keep innovating and driving automation forward on La Redoute accounts, and especially now on Microsoft advertising.
The key success factor is clearly agility, because the only thing that we can do in this so particular period is to react as well as possible. And react as well as possible means different things. Firstly, it means organizational challenges with more shorter decision-making channels. Secondly, react as well as possible is also have to keep track of changing consumer behavior in order to identify business opportunities. Online, the best way to be the more opportunistic as possible is to use search engines like Microsoft, because they are the best places where to find these business opportunities. If I'm sum up, as long as we generate incremental margin versus forecast, we continue to invest.
And this is the creatives. So we want to make sure that we talk in the right way to our customers. But B is also finding the right customers. So who do we want to talk to, and having the two dimensions in line. And then there's the third dimension, which came out strong this year, and this is the dimension of adaptiveness.
Yeah, I think it's really crucial for us to be meeting that demand as and when we see it. I think a lot of companies tend to fall back and kind of wait for that Black Friday week and the Cyber Monday as well. But like we saw last year, it's crucial that we're taking advantage of trends as well. So last year, Fake Friday was huge, and there was quite some solid cemented demand through the whole of the month.
I would say that what made a difference for us recently during the lockdown was the support by MSA team, with regular meetings, very granular insights per vertical and sub-vertical, but also we had insights on changing consumer habits to better understand them, like the price sensitivity on retail following the announcement of the lockdown, and other trends that they were very useful. So we thank all the Microsoft advertising team for their support during this period, this hard time. And this partnership is essential for achieving client goals and make our paid search strategy a success together.
I think Microsoft has provided us with extra support throughout this period, throughout these months, in many areas. So they've helped us improve campaign performance. We've had direct sessions with engineering, and which they were assisting us on migrating account structures, for example, and that all saved us a lot of time and really helped us work with different challenges that we had throughout the pandemic. I think also they've been very proactive. For example, the Insights and Analytics team, they built a self-service Power BI dashboard, and with that dashboard, we were able to track all of our campaigns. We were able to optimize KPIs and make decisions on the spot, and build fast about how campaigns were working for us. We think Microsoft gives us incremental volume, incremental exclusive volume, with very high return on advertising.
Good question, very good question. And yes, I think there are two dimensions, and it goes with the points I said. We need to find the right creative, we need to be adaptable, and we need to find the right audience. And I think Microsoft advertisement can help us find the right audience. So we have people with high intent being active on Bing. So people that go to Bing are usually people that convert quite well. So we see that the performance there is very high, and we use this over the last couple of years, months. Always happy there. And one thing that we jointly worked on together in the last couple of months actually was rolling out the MSAN, so the Microsoft Audience Network. And we had very great performances when it comes to the remarketing. So we were able to generate a lot of sales there, remarket all the people that have been to our websites before, and then scaling this up, right? Finding new audiences, finding new customers to buy our mattresses. And this is definitely something that you guys then can help us with.
Yeah, so I guess Microsoft Advertising is really helping us to deliver that revenue as and when we need it. It's a great tool for us to be able to flex demand as and when we need it. So it's really easy to see when consumers are searching, how they're searching, what they're searching for. And that influences a lot of what we do as a business. So we can then plan like what products we need to be in, taking advantage of certain trends and demographics that we're seeing are really growing. So to have that sort of knowledge and insight is helping us to shape how we sort of operate as a business and how we'll deliver against our goals in peak and beyond.
So first, I want to extend a huge thank you to our clients for making the time to share their experiences with us. It's so great to hear the tempered optimism and the understanding that advertisers will be successful when they move quickly to react to the trends and to meet the demand where it exists. So, out of all the advertising channels, we continue to see search as the one channel that advertisers are shifting funds toward. You've now heard about the value that search brings to retailers from our clients directly. We think that we'll see an acceleration in a number of trends in the coming months. Here are 4 of them. Just last year, retail searches really peaked in November with significant spike in activity around Black Friday and Cyber Monday days. Just in November, the holiday search volume change compared to the August baseline was up 3,000%. But we think this year may be just a little bit different. We believe that the seasonal demand for gifts and retail purchases will pull forward into the months of September and into October. We've heard via an eBay study that 33% of Germans say they will start shopping earlier this year, and that a full 34% of them plan to be fully ready for the holidays by the end of November. And if gifts are purchased earlier, what are going to be the hottest products? Many people around the world have discovered new activities or hobbies in the past 6 months and may be waiting for an upgrade in the form of a gift. We know that bicycle sales everywhere have increased substantially, and other hobbies like fishing, knitting, cooking, puzzles, running, and art have the potential to make for great gifts. Search engines will still help to find the best deal or to provide the right information for a product or service, but perhaps we'll see more consumers shift their search behavior beyond the best deal toward more sustainable factors or the origin of a product. This trend was already visible in Germany in 2019, and it will only likely be amplified and accelerated by COVID-19. The agency Pilot shared some interesting findings in a study about consumer behavior and shopping attitudes, which they published earlier this year. It seems that there are clear signs for the rethinking of consumer behavior. They noted that 56% of Germans think that the virus will influence their entire consumer behavior, and 53% of them specifically pay attention to sustainable products when shopping. This means that advertisers need to consider carefully how they market their product and present their products in the future with an eye on sustainability. The final trend that is accelerating is also a shift to our local environments and to supporting more local businesses. In the Netherlands, research has shown that nearly 1 in 5 Dutch consumers are spending more on local products than they did previously. Local businesses should see more engagement and appreciation in their products and services than they ever have before. So performance will clearly be a huge factor in the retail buying season of 2020. And we also think that trust is critically important. We hear from brands every day who are looking to work with partners with whom they trust. They're looking for safe places for their ads, and we think that search provides them that opportunity. I'd like to thank you for joining us today. If you'd like more information, please visit our retail hub. You can find it at aka.ms/retailhubde. Thanks again.